Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
It's 12:30. It's time for Nevada Newsmakers. What's hot, what's not? Andy's got the rundown.
He's honest and straight-spoken. Dick Gammick, Washoe County's district attorney, joins us today for a candid interview. And Terry Hickman, president of the Nevada State Education Association, is here to tell us why education needs more money and a few other things. Sam?
Thanks, Andy. And the Power Pundit panel, Andy Barbano, Jim Denton, and Bob Ostrovsky. It's all coming up on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Earn triple cash points every day during February at the Gold Dust West. To celebrate, we're bringing back the classics.
Earn once, twice, 3 times the points.
With triple cash points, you'll remember.
Win 3 times.
3 times the cash. Triple cash points happens the entire month of February. You'll enjoy.
3 is the winningest number.
3 times the cash. All day, all machines, all month. Using your Gold Rush card in February will be music to your ears.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV park.
When he was just a young boy, Ken Dillon laid back, looked up at the stars, and thought to himself, hey, this house could use a roof. Today, Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal offers a complete line of Firestone roofing products for any type of roof, from commercial to industrial and residential. With a Firestone roof from D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal, what's overhead stays overhead. Call Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal today for a free estimate. Yes, the technology sure has changed, but after all these years, Ken still enjoys playing with houses.
Feel it, the magic is everywhere. The action, the style, the food, the flair. Play with us, stay with us in Reno, say El Dorado, and live the excitement. El Dorado, Reno shining star. Live the excitement.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
When you talk to District Attorney Dick Gammick about cutting public safety budgets, he has one word for you: ramifications.
Good morning, Dick. Thank you for being here. I want to start out with a bill that was introduced yesterday at the legislature having to do with concealed weapons permits. Basically, the bill would allow anybody whose criteria is the same in their state and has a concealed weapon to carry one here. Is this a problem, or is this a bill you can back?
No, as long as what I've read in that bill is enforced, where the state that they're coming in from has the same criteria we do, and as long as that's law-abiding citizens who are not ex-felons, who are not mentally deficient, who can qualify for one, as long as they have the same criteria, I don't see an issue. This whole gun control, gun possession debate rages throughout the country again. Just a quick story, I've got a nephew who moved into a town in Georgia, and I can't recall the name of the town right now, but he was telling me when he moved in, he was required to go do a gun safety course. He was required to bring a gun with him to his house and keep a gun in the house. They have no crime. Their town is just as quiet as can be.
And everybody owns a gun.
Yes, they have to. It's required.
All right, let's go back to my original point here. The county is trying to cut budgets wherever it can, and it wants to cut your budget as well. What are the ramifications of cutting public safety budgets?
Well, there's quite a few things going on right now, and I don't know if people are really tying them together. We have the Homeland Security Agency that's been formed nationally. They have pulled a lot of federal assets, and we've got a tremendous working relationship with the federal agencies. But INS just went under that. A big chunk of the FBI did. DEA's got assets going to it. And I keep asking, what about our homeland crooks? We're pulling all these assets off to go over and take care of a very important problem, but they're not replacing them. So we're getting cut there. The state budget, as everyone is well aware, is got some real problems this year, and Nevada Division of Investigations, which we work with a lot, is already taking some pretty tremendous cuts. I think they've already cut like 60 agents off their agency, and they're also winding up getting out of things like Tri-County Drug Task Force and areas like that. Other county DAs are already telling me that they're seeing drug labs spring up in their places because they don't have anybody to enforce that. Then you compound that with what's happening within our own county, where we're being asked, along with the Sheriff's Department and courts and the rest of the criminal justice system, to cut 7%, which means people now. It's going to be some pretty drastic cuts. On top of the cities are going to have to start cutting back. I'm really starting to get concerned about public safety.
Okay, and specifically in what areas?
Crime. Straight out crime, criminals on the street. Whenever you have a bad economy anyway, your burglaries, your property crimes go up, the robberies go up, all of the different theft crimes where people are stealing to survive. You have that just as a natural consequence of a bad economy, and then you start cutting back on all the criminal justice system and the enforcement system. It's going to lead, we're not going to be, I don't want to see us turn into a not safe community.
Okay, what's Dick Gammick's solution?
Unfortunately, it's tough, and one thing I've been advocating, and we had a retreat Saturday with the Board of County Commissioners, and they are now saying this. We have to set priorities, meaning the Board of County Commissioners. We have to decide what's most important, and we've got to set priorities for different agencies and what we're going to do. So they're thinking along those lines now. I fully expect that they're going to flesh that out and decide what they can do, and we know we're going to take some cuts. There's no question. The budget's just in too bad a shape right now for the revenue side of the house. So we know we're going to take some cuts. The idea is to make those as painless as possible and keep the public safety. I mean, I'm definite, that's my one big drum.
Do you favor then a tax hike?
If that's in fact what finally washes out of this and that's what we need to do, yes. I'll just stand up and say, yes, I do. You got to pay for what you get. People demand more and more and more government services. There's a bill that comes with those. Now we're getting to the point, there may be more fluff there, I don't know. I know we're at 5% reduction this year. We're being asked to cut another 7%. Every year since I've been DA, we've come in with right at 1% under our budget. So we've been keeping it pretty tight as it is anyway. But yeah, my concern is public safety.
Let's turn around a little bit. Joe Neal wants to get a bill that talks about law enforcement and racial profiling when officers make a stop or arrest on someone just based on race. Do you come across this as a problem?
No.
And I mean, realistically, I mean, across our local area, across the state, anywhere, do you see this being a problem?
No, there are, it's just like any other profession. There are some police officers out there who, in my personal opinion, are in a very small minority that may harbor racial problems. They may go pick on people because of their ethnicity, but I don't see that as being any kind of a problem. I knew 2 years ago when they wanted to start keeping all these statistics that they would be massaged to say anything they wanted them to say. That's exactly what's happening right now. It's just, I mean, it's a fact of life, and I get criticized, and I'll say it again anyway. It's a fact of life when you have a Hispanic youth gang that you're going to be stopping Hispanic youth. It's a fact of life when you have like the Bloods and the Crips and those type of gangs that are predominantly black gangs that you're going to be dealing with black. It's a fact of life that when you have things like the skinheads and the pro-Nazi people, those are white young people, and you're going to be dealing with white young people. It's just what happens when you start dealing with these different ethnic groups that are built on ethnicity. That you're going to wind up spending more time working with them. I have no idea what this bill's supposed to do. I have no idea how we're supposed to prove that somebody is profiling a particular race. If they're working, for instance here demographically, if they're working northeast Reno, that's where predominantly black, the African Americans live, and they're going to be stopping more African Americans. Is that a person we're going to prosecute for this misdemeanor? If this is really happening, if they are really racially motivated and we have a problem there, it needs to be a lot more than a misdemeanor. And they need to be fired, gotten off the street, and that authority taken away.
Thanks for being here, Dick. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
When you bring up the word education, everybody's attention is focused. And Terry Hickman is here with the Nevada State Education Association. He's up right after this.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
Do you know you can still buy a nice car for a great price and a low payment? The car is a Mitsubishi Lancer, and it's only available at Reno Mitsubishi. The Lancer has style, a ton of neat features, and with a lease payment of $169 a month, it's even more fun to drive. So if you want a great deal on a Mitsubishi Lancer, find your way down to Reno Mitsubishi today. Because at this payment, they won't last long.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. 7 award-winning dining choices. Experience the Atlantis Seafood Steakhouse tonight. Winner of Wine Spectator's Award of Excellence. The local's choice for food and fun, Atlantis.
Atlantis.
At Sushi Club, everybody's family. That's what makes dining here so much fun. The sushi is consistently better, the atmosphere is great, and the service is wonderful.
Welcome to the bigger and better Sushi Club. Come in for our delicious daily specials.
When you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
Hi, may I please make an appointment?
What if you called for help and no one answered?
Hi, I'd like to make...
What if that help was for your unborn child? Lawsuit abuse has created a healthcare crisis, making it difficult for women to find doctors, driving good doctors out of Nevada and leaving us without healthcare. We're protecting the doctors of Nevada, and we need your help. Call 800-784-4730 now. Tell your legislator to support Keep Our Doctors in Nevada.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Governor Gwynn is the education governor, so he says, and he tried to prove that in his State of the State. But the problem is money. Terry Hickman from the Nevada State Education Association is here to represent the teachers' point of view.
Good morning, Terry. Thank you for being with us.
morning.
You represent all of Nevada's teachers and support personnel. Is that?
That's correct. Around 22,000 teachers and support professionals throughout the state of Nevada.
Okay. Now, 2 years ago, you all brought a net proceeds tax, which I was reading last week, and now it's beginning to look pretty good compared to the gross receipts tax. Do you have, is your association going to take a stand on the gross receipts tax or a net proceeds tax, or do you just want to see taxes go up?
What we're looking for is a solution to the education funding crisis in Nevada, which means we're looking for a broad-based tax that takes care of the funding issues that we feel are vital for the students and for the communities here in Nevada.
You want to be specific about that, if I can say the word?
Okay. For example, class size reduction is a major issue. Exactly how are we going to pay for that? How are we going to pay for the new students who are coming to Nevada? We know approximately 27,000 new students will be in the classrooms within the next 2 years. How are we going to pay for them, and what kind of education do we want to give to those students?
The Carson City area school district asked yesterday for the ability to use elementary class size reduction money in different ways. Are you in favor of that?
Well, yesterday, Carson City School District, the superintendent made a effort to tell everyone at the legislature that the superintendents were in favor of flexibility. We feel that class size reduction hasn't fully been implemented yet in the first, second, and third grade. Approximately around the state here, around 1 out of 4 classes is not taught by one teacher. They have 2 teachers, team teaching. And the reason why is because there isn't room. So I fail to understand how we're going to create more classrooms for the 4th and 5th graders by lowering those class sizes and by raising the class sizes in 1st and 2nd grade. Everyone agrees that the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grades are the fundamental grades for students to learn to read and do their math. And we're taking away from those students smaller class sizes, which do make a difference, and then we're going to raise them. And I do not think that's a good way to do our
Terry,
funding.
there's so much frustration in the general public. The feeling is that they keep pouring money into education, but the test scores don't seem to go up, and Johnny can't read, and kids get into college and they have to take remedial classes. How do we improve the education of our young people?
Well, in 1997, the Nevada State Legislature implemented a process that required standards here in the state of Nevada, and I am very supportive of that. And what that means is that teachers have to have certain goals around the state, even on a daily basis, as to what they're teaching the students. Just throwing money at the problem is not the answer. You must have standards. Student achievement must be able to be evaluated, and we totally believe in accountability. We think in Nevada we're on the right step. We're moving it forward, and the new Leave No Child Behind Act is not going to have a great deal of impact here in Nevada because we're already doing a great many of the things that the federal government wants school districts to do.
So then you would support performance standards for teachers? I think isn't that one of the suggestions we've heard this year?
They've talked about highly qualified teachers, and most teachers in Nevada already meet that standard. So I think here in Nevada, we do have a good public school system. The question is, how do we continue to raise the standards, raise student achievement, and how do we pay for it?
I have a question for you on an idea that was proposed the other day, which is in the larger counties of having more than one school district. Doesn't this just create a larger bureaucracy?
Well, that's an issue that I guess the individuals would have to deal with in terms of the counties, but I think, for example, here in Washoe or in Clark County, who has the casino strip is the winner. There would be a real issue of who could provide the money necessary, and you're right, we would have more layers of administration. I think the communities want to see smaller class sizes, more resources for the students. I would have to be reassured that that was going to happen for me to support any kind of change.
And one last question here. The idea of repealing binding arbitration, the right for teachers to be able to go on strike. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that stems from a frustration that teachers and support professionals have around the state is they are not in the business for just making huge salaries. They don't make huge salaries. They want to see some changes. They really do want to make a difference for their students, and they feel very frustrated that at times they're not heard, and that is an issue.
I have one final comment, which is whenever I speak in any venue about education, you get everybody's attention. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you very much. All right, if you listen carefully, you can hear the pot boiling. Yep, the Pundits coming up next.
Take a break and treat the family to breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Tamarack Junction. Enjoy pasta night on Wednesdays, Mexican on Thursdays, and seafood on Fridays. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amani Ranch Parkway.
When he was just a young boy, Ken Dillon laid back, looked up at the stars, and thought to himself, hey, this house could use a roof. Today, Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal offers a complete line of elk roofing products for any type of residential roof. With an elk roof from D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal, what's overhead stays overhead. Call Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal today for a free estimate. Yes, the technology sure has changed, but after all these years, Ken still enjoys playing with houses.
The Gold Dust West has another Club Card Challenge. Triple cash points all day, all machines, all month.
Okay, what's the catch?
None. Just use your Gold Rush card any day, anytime, and on any machine during the month of February, and you'll earn triple cash points.
Triple cash points on all machines?
On all machines.
Triple cash points anytime?
Anytime.
Triple cash points all day, all machines, all month, just for using my Gold Rush card? How'd they give away that much cash?
Simple. February only has 28 days.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV park.
At Tamarack Junction, you can take advantage of fabulous food around the clock. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, give the oven and yourself a rest. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amani Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Time for the panel of punditry, and on the panel today, Ande Barbano from the Sparks Tribune, a columnist. And from Las Vegas, we welcome for the first time to our show Bob Ostrovsky. He represents disparate groups like Cox and the Greenspun family, the city of Las Vegas, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. And also Jim Denton, political analyst. Let's start out with Barbano. You got 15 seconds to explain that tie.
This tie was given to me as my compensation for reading to 5th graders at Florence Drake Elementary School in Sparks last Friday. Librarian Carol Snedden is big on teddy bears. There's about 1,000 of them in the library, and she gave me a teddy bear tie. I was well paid, and I hope they invite me back. I enjoyed talking about Uncle Scrooge, Harry Potter, and I even read E.E. Cummings, which is where Dr. Seuss got his rhyme.
And you're now matching up with Gammick and his Mickey Mouse ties.
Yes, sir. That's why I wore it this morning. I told him I was going to wear
The
this.
biggest revelation in that to a number of people was that Andy could read.
Go ahead, Andy.
Okay, we just talked to Terry Hickman with the Nevada State Education Association. He says they're willing to put in some standards. What do we need to do to get businesses and people to pay more taxes for education?
Well, education has a problem in the state, Andy. As Terry said, we've got 27,000 kids that we're going to educate here in the next 2 years that are going to be brand new kids to the system. We have to fund education in the state. It's not an option, it's not a choice, it's something that we have to do. And it's something that I think most people agree with the governor about.
Do we continue with class size reduction, though?
I think class size reduction is extraordinarily popular among the public, and I think you would have a tough time doing anything about that.
Bob?
I think the legislature is going to have huge budget issues related to that. If you look at the governor's budget proposal, you look at what education, at least in Clark County, is seeking in terms of pay raises and classroom size reductions and so on, the money that's been proposed so far, even with the governor's big increase in budget and taxes, doesn't meet the needs that the education community feels that it should have. So there's it's a train wreck waiting to happen before the end of the legislative session.
Okay, you got a solution?
Do I have a solution?
Sure.
Well, I guess if it was me, I would give more money to local school districts, let them make decisions about how to spend it, rather than having dictates from Carson City about classroom size reduction and other issues. The closer you get to the public, closer you get to the moms and dads of those kids, the better decisions you'll get.
And I think I predict that'll happen in this legislative session, by the way.
I'd like to put an asterisk on that. A few years ago, the Gazette-Journal proved that when its corporate interests aren't involved, it can do sparkling reportage. It did a series on the inequality of schools in Washoe County and found out that the school district's idea of equality, which is take the number of students and divide it into the budget, and that's what each school gets, provides very unequal education because of the involvement of the parents and boosters associations and what they can put into schools. So you do not have equal education in this state now, and you start giving ultimate flexibility to the local school districts, and you will perpetuate that mode of inequality.
Except I agree with Bob that I think the local autonomy for school districts is something that's important and something that I predict this legislature will do. But I also predict that you will see that they do not do anything with tinkering with class size. The public has made it abundantly clear that class size is not something they want tinkering with.
And there's a way to fund schools.
Other than reducing it.
Do what Sparks is doing. Shunt some of that money that goes to downtown corporate welfare and put it into the schools. Sparks is doing it now. Reno needs to do it. And I don't know if there are any schools within the Reno Redevelopment Agency, but we've had the most expensive property in town. The property tax increases have been shunted to tourism and promotion as opposed to the schools, and that's really hurt the school districts. Sparks is at least trying to remedy that by putting some of their redevelopment money into their schools.
You know, Terry Hickman is standing by here, and he's got a couple of thoughts he wants to throw in. Terry?
Sure. One of the reasons that class size reduction does come from the legislature and is funded because the issue is we want all students in Nevada to receive that kind of education in terms of first, second, and third grade, the fundamental grades having those smaller class sizes. Report after report will tell you that that makes a tremendous difference, that those students who are in small class sizes really do learn at a higher level and retain it, and it does make a difference throughout their entire school career. To give the local school district the option to do something with that money, I would be fearful of that because I think right now the system is working. There is a project in Elko that does allow an exception, and it may work just fine in Elko. But I think Clark and Washoe and others have some ideas that they like what it is right now with the 16-to-1 and are going to be very strong in this legislature to keep that funding exactly where it is and in fact expand it For the new students who are coming, they want to have that same opportunity to build that foundation.
Okay, Terry, thank you. We really appreciate you jumping in. Andy, the Wall Street Journal is interfering in Nevada's business.
It certainly is. It came out and heavily criticized the governor for wanting to raise taxes. Mostly they were upset with the governor calling people cowards and saying they were irrelevant if they didn't want to go along with the tax hike. The governor answered them in a letter yesterday, which most of you have had a chance to look at, just 10 seconds each. What did you think of the governor's reply?
I've got to defend Governor Dudley Do-Right. Much of this is not his fault. His purpose in getting elected was to keep casino taxes low, and he's going to do that. But Nevada's on the end of a long chain letter of Ronald Reagan's new federalism, and the counties and the cities are suffering and the state's suffering as we're getting less federal support. We need support from the federal government in time of crisis.
Bob, quickly.
Very quickly. Three choices: education, prisons, healthcare. Eats up 90% of the budget.
Jim, the last word.
Kenny Gwynn got a bad rap from the Wall Street Journal.
We'll be right back.
If you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club. Year after year voted the best place for sushi. 11 chefs on staff to serve you. Better ingredients for consistent high quality. And lots of room, so bring your friends. Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
Feel it, the magic is everywhere. The action, the style, the food, the flair. Play with us, stay with us in Reno, say El Dorado. And live the excitement. El Dorado, Reno's shining star. Live the excitement.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
The Mitsubishi Outlander is the hottest new sport utility on the market today. And right now, you can lease it at Reno Mitsubishi for just $209 a month. The Outlander is sporty, features all-wheel drive, and is the best buy in its class. You owe it to yourself, and you deserve it. Come down and lease a brand new 2003 Outlander for just $209 a month. It's for a limited time only, so find your way down to Reno Mitsubishi today.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, consistently voted Reno's best buffet by locals. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch.
Atlantis.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Quiet show. Well, if you like today, you'll love tomorrow. Dr. Rudy Mathai, who's the head of Keep Our Doctors in Nevada, and Dr. Keith Schwer, who's done a study and analysis on the governor's proposed tax hikes.
Those coming up tomorrow on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers. Join us.